everyone. Good morning to you all. Welcome back to Science Online class. In the last session, already we have discussed some concepts about the soil and the cultivation of the soil, and especially about manure and fertilizer. You see, manure is an organic substance made up of, or the organic substance is formed in the field by the decomposition of the plant and animal wastes, and manure as contains the different nutrients and it is very useful for healthy growth of the plants, right? And one more point already we discussed, that is the fertilizer. Fertilizer is a substance that is added to the plant, added to the crops, but the fertilizer having only a particular nutrient, right? So the fertilizers are also very useful to well growth of the plant. So for example, urea, phosphate, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. But one thing, if we use more fertilizer, it affects, because the fertilizer contains some harmful chemicals. That is why before using, or if we use excess of fertilizers, it affects the crops, as well as it is one of the major source of water pollution. That is why instead of fertilizer we have to use the manure. If we use the manure, it is very useful to provide the nutrients for the soil. And one more method, that is the crop rotation. Means, what is crop rotation and how it is useful? It is a very best method to replenish the soil. Replenish means to refill the nutrients. So the crop rotation is a very best method to replenish the soil with nutrients. Then what is this crop rotation? Crop rotation means, here rotation, this words indicates changing. Changing means it is a process in which the plants or the crops are grown. The crops are growing different crops alternatively. Means in the same field we have to grow the different crops. Then it is called the crop rotation. So growing of different crops alternatively. Then is called as a crop rotation. And that is very helpful in the replenishment in the soil with the nutrients. Here replenishment means what? To refill the nutrients what it lost in every crop, right? So next is, in the olden days also the people were used the crop rotation because of what? It is very useful to get the nutrients to the soil and to fertility will be as it is of the soil. And next, one more important concept is, that is advantages of the manure. What are the useful? What is the main useful of the manure? The first one is, it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. Means the manure is very useful to the soil. It conducts more and more water. Increase the conduction of more and more water. Then next one is, it makes the soil the porous. Porous means what? Here porous means the small holes. It becomes loose and small holes. So the manure is very useful to the makes the soil porous and it is very easy to get the respiration. Means in the exchange of gases becomes easily. And one more important use is it increases the number of microbes in the soil. As you know already, the earthworm and some microbes are the friend of the farmers. So the manure is very useful to the increase the number of microbes like earthworm in the soil. At last, it improves the texture of the soil. Means texture means what? The improves the quality and also the fertility of the soil is increasing if we use the manure continuously. So this is the some concept about the crop rotation and the advantage of the manure. Dear students, next one more concept about irrigation. What is the irrigation and how it is useful to a farmer in the field of agriculture? Dear students, as you know already, the water is very essential component to all living things, and one more, it's a important for proper well growth of plants or every living being, isn't it? Right? So plants absorb almost all the water. Along with water, it absorbs the minerals, salts and also fertilizers. The plants contain nearly 90% of the water, and the human body also contains nearly 75% of the water. So water is very necessary for all living beings, and water is very essential because during germination of the seeds, when the seeds are started to growing, it needs water content. If it is dry or in dry condition, the seed is not germinate properly. That is why we must and should take care of watering the plants. Okay, and next one more is the nutrients are already dissolved in the water. Then each nutrient is supplied or reaches every part of the plant body, and the irrigation also protects the crop from the hot air currents. Sometimes a very hot air is blowing. Due to that, the water may evaporate more and more. That is why the irrigation is supports to the crop from hot air currents, and it prevents the seed or the crop from hot air current. And at last, to maintain the moisture of the soil continuously for healthy growth of the plant is very, very essential. That is why the fields have to be watered regularly. Always we have to supply the water to the crops, to the plants regularly. Then only the crops or the plants get sufficient water for their well growth. If we neglect to watering the crops, watering the plants, already they become dry and there is a improper growth will be happen. That's why be careful about regularly water the field. And what is now irrigation? This is the process to supply of water to the crop. To supply of water to the crop regular intervals is called as water irrigation. Once I repeat, my dear students, the process of the supply of water to the crops at regular intervals of time is called as irrigation method. But this irrigation method contains particular time and the frequency. Means the irrigation is different. It changes according to their season, as well as one more, that is season, and varies from crop to crop as well as the season. So this is also a very suitable method to get better field, better yield or better crop for every farmer. Dear students, now this is sources of the irrigation. Up to we discussed about the irrigation, right? The process of supply of water to the crop or plants at regular intervals of time is called as irrigation. What are the sources of irrigation? There is wells, tube wells, pond, lake, river, dam, canals. So these are the different sources or different water sources for the irrigation. And also in the irrigation system or in the irrigation method, we have to use some traditional methods. Traditional means we have to follow the some olden methods to cultivate the land. That is moat. First one is what? Moat means pulley system. I think you may have seen already in pulley, you are pulling the rope on a well, is called pulley. Then chain pump, then dekil and raha means lever system. These are the some traditional methods of water irrigation, and some modern or scientific methods are there for irrigation. That is sprinkler system. One more is drip irrigation system. Nowadays these two are very very important for every farmer to get better and better crops or better yield at day-to-day life. Dear students, today we discussed about irrigation, their systems and crop rotation and advantages of the manual. Remaining concept we will discuss in the next session.